Ground is not just a minor symbol. Broadly speaking, it can be seen as the entire Earth itself. In this video, we will learn about ground, the core of electricity. What comes to mind when you hear the word ground? In other words, it is also called Earth. Grounding is usually indicated by black and green wires. Grounding is a truly critical element in a circuit connections, but is ground in a DC circuit the same as in AC circuit? First, let's look at the DC circuit. In DC circuits, ground is commonly expressed as minus. In a DC circuit, current flows from a place of high voltage to a place of low voltage. We call this electric potential. In a single supply circuit, if there is only plus, current does not flow. This is because there is no electric potential difference. However, adding ground creates a reference point of zero, allowing current to flow. Current flows using the difference in potential between plus and ground. In a DC circuit, ground doesn't simply mean minus, but represents the reference point for voltage. Conversely, what about AC circuits? AC circuits are alternating current circuits. These are circuits with a sine wave. This means the voltage on a single line changes. It mainly consists of one live wire, one neutral wire, and ground. If you look at outlets, you can divide them into thin outlets with just two connection points and outlets with metal contact on the side. In the first case, it's an outlet connected only to the live and neutral wires. In the second case, it's the same product, but with a ground contact added. Unlike these circuits, the product works even without ground. So, is ground really necessary? It's just increasing the size of the outlet. Actually, in AC circuits, we called it earth rather than ground. In DC circuits, ground was connected to the minus part, but in AC circuits, it is connected to ground. What does that mean? Here is a large motor. Let's assume there is a short circuit inside. If a person touches it, current will flow through their body. However, let's assume the motor has an additional ground connection. If we touch the motor, the current will not flow through the human body because the resistance of ground wire is much lower than the resistance of the human body. What if we connected it to a small place like flower pot? Let's compare it to a cup of water. If you keep pouring water into a cup, it will overflow quickly. But if you keep pouring water into the ocean, the sea level doesn't change. The same applies to ground. It's a difference in how many electrons it can accommodate. We use the term Earth because it connects to the vast ground of the planet. Why is the representative color for ground black? And why is the representative color for Earth green? The reason for black is that it is a color that contrasts most with the red wire, which symbolizes plus. It is also a color that visually conveys the meaning of a state with zero energy. On the other hand, Earth is green because it is the color of nature. It is a color that visually conveys the connection to the Earth's soil. This is an international standard. In this video, we will look at the difference between ground and Earth. If the video was useful, please press the subscribe and like buttons. Thank you for watching.